Hey, this is Jason with Denwerks. Got my 1958 220S pontoon Mercedes out, and figured we'd take a video, let you see inside and out, and we'll put it up on my lift. We'll show you the interior, we'll show you underneath the hood. Right now it's running, obviously. Got a new little camera, got a little GoPro. Hopefully it's not too shaky. You know, it's always trial and error doing this stuff, so we'll do a little walk around, and I'll show you different stuff about it. Sometimes things that you don't see, like in photos, we can point out in videos and stuff, you know, just the general paint and different condition. But we'll walk around the front here and show you the lights. Lights have been the Achilles heel to me lately, and my little fog lamps, they were working. Then all of a sudden I tested them a minute ago, now they're not working. And we'll have to try to figure out. But we got headlights, bright lights. The marker lights were just on. And then you can see here, up here on the top, these little lights, these aren't marker lights. I believe what those are is, you know, in different countries and stuff like that, you got right and you got left. Hopefully you can see that's on. You got right and left, and so that's a marker light to show that you're going to be pulling out of the space. But anyways, all the lights are working on the front and the back. And these lights, these hella lights, they actually do work. And I'll make them work when I get back home. But I don't know, they've always worked, and so all of a sudden today they're not working. But you can see, you know, the emblem's in nice shape. You can see the chrome. There's some little tiny, you know, just tiny little wear, you know, from the age. The car's never been restored. It's been repainted. But overall, I mean, it's a great looking car. You'll see little tiny chips that have been touched up. And it wasn't a high dollar paint job when it was repainted. I'm guessing it was probably 30 years ago this car was painted. And if you remember Ken, when I was talking to him, he owned it since 1999. And he took it to shows and had a good time. But it's not a show car, but it's a very nice driver. We can look down here. You can look down the sides of it and stuff. You can see some little wobbling in the paint. And hopefully you can see that. You know, it's not perfectly straight down the sides. I wouldn't call it a Bondo Queen or anything like that. It's just, you know, they didn't do a lot of prep work when they painted it. And you can see some little chips here. Actually, the chrome is real nice on that, on both of the door handles. And the door locks do work. I've tested those. You can see the chrome down here in the bottom. There's some little scuffs on it all the way across. You can see some touch up on the hubcap. Those are hard hubcaps to find. Actually, the car had 14s on it when I got it, but Ken had the originals, and I wanted to put the 13s back on it because that's what it originally came with. So we put new tires on it. So we'll walk around here to the back. We'll pull it around so you can see the other side of the car. So we'll take a look here, and I'll have Tim drive it down there and come back. Okay, Tim flipped it around here. We're going to take a look at this side of the car. You know, basically both sides look great. You know, they look a lot alike. So we'll just walk around, take different things, look at different things. You can see little chips. You know, right here you can see a chip. You know, it's got a lot of chips all over. I mean, the paint's real old. You can see some major scuffing and stuff on that hubcap. Like I said before, had 14s on it. Ken liked the big 14-inch ones. I think they actually use that on some of the race cars, the 14. And but I wanted to put the 13s back on, like I mentioned just a little bit ago. Get a little redundant in these videos. You can see some scraping right here on the chrome, but all the chrome's there. Right here is a little rub through on the paint. You can see the primer and stuff underneath there. It didn't touch that up or anything, but that could probably be blended in. You can see some little scratches that have been touched up. Door handles, little tiny pitting on this one. This one's here's nice. A couple little tiny pits. You can see in the gutters, they're very clean. You know, none of the window gaskets or anything like that's been repaired or anything or replaced. You can see there's little cracks. You can see a little tape line around here. You can see a little where the paint's missing across there. maybe where they've tried to seal it. Doesn't seem to get wet inside, you know, during the when it's raining and stuff. You can see some little pitting on the wipers. There's some little nicks in the chrome trim right there. I don't think the windshield wiper squirters work, but the windshield wipers are working. Walk around here. You can see down the side. It's a little wobbly. But again, it's not from Bondo, it's just, you know, for prep work and age. And I do have the key to the gas door, and that works. You know, it's just a good looking car. You can see the bumper. You know, everything's here for the car, but a lot of it just needs, you know, sprucing up. You can see the bumper, there's some little flaking and stuff starting to happen. You can see here where it's actually came off. You can see little cracks in the taillights, little reflectors. Got cracks in them. You see the license plate works, both sides. See there's a little crack right there. This is kind of neat, actually. This dealer plate that I have on here is, you know, from 1958. If you went on a test drive, that's what it had on it, so I put those on there for fun. But it comes with other plates that you saw in the video when I first bought it. But when I took the other plate off to put this dealer plate on, there was actually a plate from California. So right behind here, you can see this little blue here. That's actually a 1956 California plate that actually has the little tabs that you stick in there for 57, 58, 59. So I believe this car originally, I was told, came out of California, and then when I took the other plate off, the original, or the plates that it had on it from Oregon, that kind of confirmed. So I think that is the original plate from California underneath there. I didn't bring my screwdriver so you can't see it. But anyways, I hope that gives you a good look in general. Actually, I'll go around the window. Right here you can see the gasket's old. You know, all the way around it. But again, it's not leaking. You can see the gutter's nice. So anyways, we'll take a look at the interior and let you have another look. Hey, here we are taking a little drive in the 220S. It's a 1958, as I talked about before. And if you look across the dash, it's just beautiful. You know, this isn't veneer. I mean, people that know these cars already, they know that this is solid wood, and it's all carved, all, you know, master plan. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's just not straight across either. It kind of contours like this, but it's just beautiful. I love how they go over the top of the instrument cluster. They put a little shield over the top. But you know, with wood, I mean, there's always little things. You'll see little cracks and different things, but it's actually pretty nice. Over here, I don't know if you can see in the video, you can see some little cracking here. You can see a little bit in the window. You can see a little bit over here on the window, but overall, I mean, it's in really nice shape, real beautiful. You don't hear any music. Usually I like to play a little music while I'm driving, but it's got a Becker radio in it, European too. You can see this is an older model. It's an AM FM. It's probably, you know, 1958. I don't think we had FM, but this is probably something from the maybe late 60s or 70s, but it fits there, but it's not working. I'm not even sure if it's hooked up. You can see across the dash, the instrument cluster is laid out. Right now we're going 35, but it likes to go 55, 60. You can see the temperature gauges. It actually raised a little bit, but it's not 100% working. The oil pressure gauge, when I turned it on, it pegs out at 45, so it's got really good oil pressure. The odometer's working, the trip meter's working. When I left out driving here, I restarted, so it's at 7, and the fuel gauge is working. But in the other things you'll notice here, the horn button has some pitting and stuff on it, and it actually works. And the clock is not working, but there's a lot of different things. You got your keys. You turn your key on, and then it's got a little push button to start it, and this is your choke. You want to make sure to have it neutral, because this this is a manual. When you saw me shifting it when we were driving it, you notice I didn't use a clutch, but as soon as you touch this and start moving it, it actually pushes the clutch in for you, and you know, then you shift into the gear, and then you let go of it, and it's like your foot letting go of the clutch. So it is a manual transmission. So, and it is a 4-speed. So you can see in here, the glove box is in nice shape. Even that's all wood. You can see the map lights working. Actually, I'm gonna get hit almost head on here with a car. I'll wave at him. He waved back. But anyways, we'll just cruise around and pull over, and we'll show you more of the interior and, you know, just different things about it. Okay, we'll take a look at the inside of it. First, I want to show you these doors. Look how smooth that is. I mean, the car's a 1958. I mean, there's no cars where they shut like that. And just nice and smooth. So it is, we'll take a look at the inside here. You can see they continued that wood all the way around here. You can see little cracks and stuff in it. You can see the rubber is old. You know, those are things that probably need to be, you know, replaced, you know, just from owning a classic car. But you know what's amazing about this car, that I haven't seen any rust on it. I haven't seen any rust bubbles. I haven't seen anything that resembles rust on the car. Underneath is real clean. I'll show you it in the video. I've had the carpet out. It's very, very clean. It's just a pretty amazing car. You know, you look at the door jambs, you know, extremely clean. These little rubber pieces here, you know, they're getting brittle. You know, they're in good shape, but you know, it's something you probably want to change, you know, down the road, or maybe not. I mean, maybe you just want to drive it and enjoy it. You can look at the dash; it's in great shape. When I'm driving it, I show you a few more cracks and different things in it, but you can see how I was talking about it being contoured, you know, this way. It's not just flat. The seats are in good shape. You know, I think they've been recovered at some point. You can see the inserts are a little different color, but there is no rips and stuff in the seats. You know, when I showed it on the video earlier, where I got it from Ken, been in storage, you know, for like 10 years in there, so it has a little bit of a musty smell. If you look at up there in the headliner, it's in good shape, but there's a hole right there. There's one in here in the back where some mice got in here, so there's a little bit of it's just an older headline. It's original, but there's a little bit of a musty smell, and I mean, it's not bad, but I've gotten used to it. But it's something still your wife or girlfriend would still drive in. You know, it's just older car. I mean, it's 60 years old. You can see a little crack here in the wood, down here in the bottom. You know, same thing with the rubbers. You can see here in the edge of the doors, very, very clean. You can see the jambs are nice and clean. You know, here you can see the rubbers just kind of flaking off there. Go around here to the driver's side. This seat's, the back seat's in great shape, except right here, you can see where it's not split. You can see they have a double seam, and where they sew it, and so that needs to be resewn. There's one little tiny hole there, but otherwise, that, you know, the back seat's in good shape. You can see the door panel is in pretty good shape. Again, there's a couple little splits in the wood. You know, part of that's a factory little split there, but it just came apart a little bit. You can see the jamb's real nice. Show you the driver's side. You know, again, remember that door. It just shuts nice. You know, again, you can see the rubber. You can see some cracking and stuff right here in this corner. A little crack right there. See the door panels in good shape. You know, these are getting kind of old. Actually, over there on the driver's side or the passenger side, there's 2 little clips on each side to keep that shut, and they did that a long time ago. So that one needs a little bit of repair. You can see the steering wheel. I love the steering wheel, but it has some little cracks in it around the edge. You can see the pitting right here. I was showing in the video. Just came loose there a little bit. This is a little vent. Just goes from the engine compartment. You can see the original data plate there for the VIN number. You can see this jam is good. So, I mean, overall, it's a clean little car. We'll pop the hood and let you take a look underneath. Okay, here we are underneath the hood. Figured I'd let you take a look. You know, it's a 220S that, you know, basically the body's the same as like a 180 and a 190, but the difference is those cars have 4 cylinders, and this is a straight 6 with dual carbs, which gives it a lot more power, a lot more fun to drive. And you can see all the tags here. There's another tag over there that says made in Western Germany, and another number. But interesting thing, a lot of people, they might know this and they may not. Part of the VIN here is, you see the 8516816. 85, when I first got this car, it was titled as a 1959, and Ken kept on swearing up and down to me that it was a 58. And so I got DMV to actually change it. So, and how I did that is 85 is, you flip that around to 58. If this was a 59, that VIN would be 95. So, and the same thing with the engine. There's an engine code down there on the bottom. There's a little tag. I show a picture of it. You can see that little tag there, and it starts off with 85 as well. And the same thing there. If it was a 1959 motor, it would say 95. So it says 85. You flip that around, that's 58. Hopefully that made some sense. But anyways, the engine compartment's fairly in pretty good shape, actually. It's got a brand new battery in it. You can see all the stuff here behind the shield. There's been some repairs. You can see some little, you know, just little repairs, because this is kind of a cardboard box. You know, it's a composite on both sides, so they get real brittle through the years. You can see here, it's in the back, it's got a, you can see the fuel pump here, but it's been bypassed. This is a regulator, and you can see in the back underneath, there's actually a fuel pump. I don't know why that's been changed. You can also see here on the fuel line, you know, the fuel line's good. You can see this little material is starting to come off on it just from the age. So. Okay, enough of my little trivia session about 1958 versus 59 and stuff like I've already showed you, but you probably want to hear it run, so let's go ahead and fire her up. You know, it usually fires up right away. It's got a manual choke on it like I showed you on the dash, but you know, it's very smooth. It's running dual carburetors. No noises or anything like that. You know, no knocks or anything like that, or nothing weird. So, but you know, it's 1958, so it's old. It's not, you know, it's not like a you know, new Honda or something like that when you're driving it or anything like that. But anyways, you can see everything's pretty much in order, and it sounds nice. Why don't you go ahead and rev it up just a little bit. We'll go around here and take a look. You can see it's not smoking or anything out the exhaust. Go ahead and rev it. So anyways, I hope that gives you a good idea of the way it sounds, and hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, here we are underneath the trunk. You can see that here there's no rust. This is a common spot where these would rust. And again, like I said, I mean, I haven't found any rust on this car. You know, I've had that tire out of there, and there's no rust down there in the bottom of the tray. You know, here there's some, I mean, this is just surface little stuff. You can see the paint's flaking off there, but you know, actually that's very clean. It's funny, I just said I never found any rust, but you know, that's just some surface rust stuff. Looks like this thing could have actually had two spare tires. I didn't really realize that little panel there, I hadn't looked under there before, but that's the original wood. So it's actually a pretty clean trunk for original. You can see around these jack or the mounts for the shocks. Those aren't rusty. Very clean. You know, and I haven't seen any signs of accidents or anything on this car. It's actually in pretty amazing shape. So you can also see that the original jack's in there too. Okay, here we are underneath the 58 220S. Awesome car underneath, actually. Really wanted to do a video so you could see underneath the structure and stuff, because it's really important on a car, and sometimes you can't see all that stuff on a still photo. So just trying to show you a little bit more about the car. I know the videos get a little bit longer this way, but you can see a lot about them. If you remember, in one of the videos there, I talked with Ken, and he told me about a tag that he found underneath here, and it was hanging off the suspension. Well, the tag's off of it. Ken actually took it off originally because he didn't want to lose it. 6/11/58 6066. I don't know where that was attached underneath here, but it had a little wire on it and it was about to fall off, so he took it so it wouldn't be lost forever. If you look here, we'll just start here in the front. We put new tires on it. The tires maybe have 20 miles on it. I haven't put a lot of miles on this car. You can see here we put new cylinders, front brake cylinders on the front. We didn't have to do it on the back. You know, here's the other one here. The brake lines are in great shape, you know, so we didn't change those. We just flushed the system out and got the brakes working nice, and it seems to be doing good. And you can see here the factory oil pan is actually aluminum. See the transmission. You'll see little oil seepage in different spots, like around some of the gaskets and things. You know, you can see just different things. You know, it hasn't been restored underneath, so you know, this is pretty much the way it was since new. One of the things that we did replace in it was this, I forgot what they call it now, I'm sitting here, but it's a rubber piece there that connects to the drive shaft. The other one was just shot. It's very common, and I was able to get one, of those. We'll look down the side of the frame here. It's a unibody car, and this is in really nice shape. You can look across here. You know, there's no rust. Very solid. I mean, that's exactly the way you want to see one of these cars. And actually, you can see the inside of the rocker here. That panel is very clean. You can see the mounts are nice. There's the jack mount. You look here on the outside, absolutely no rust. If you look here, there's the jack mount. You can see here the bottom of the rocker is in great shape. You know, the bottom of the fender, very nice. You know, it's got older paint on it. You can see down here at the bottom. We'll go around here to the back. You can see this mount. It's very nice, no rust. It's got a fuel pump in it, electric fuel pump that someone put on it. I think probably Ken did that back then. Ran a little wire. I don't like that little wire. I might do something different about that. But, I mean, it is what it is. You can see a little seepage, different things on the rear end, but not bad. One thing I'll point out here is the boot is in nice shape. No cracks around it. You can see the brake lines are nice. Actually, back when Ken originally had it, he had the brakes all done, so that's why a lot of these brake lines look real nice. It's just, it sat, you know, for a long time, so that's why those cylinders I had to replace. But these brake lines were all replaced. I forgot what he spent on brakes. I think the receipts said it was right around $2,500. You can see here the bottom of the floors. Just show you real quick. They're very nice, and there's no rust. Solid. You can see here down the center, someone probably took the drive line out at one point, and they cut two little sections here and pulled it down to get it out of there. They probably shouldn't have done it like that, but that's the way they did it. So that needs to be straightened and re-welded. It's not hurting anything, but I just wanted to point that out. You can see the rear brake sections. You know, we didn't replace the cylinders like I said earlier. You can look back here underneath the quarter panel. Very solid. You look up inside the wheel well. Very clean, not rusty. You can see there's actually no accident damage, no rust up in there. And that's very, very clean. You look back here along the back of the panel below the bumper. You can see inside this quarter panel is very nice. And that's the way you want to find these kind of cars. These are the things you can't really catch a lot in photos, so that's where I like the video a lot better. You can see where the bumper connects to this frame rail. Again, very solid. You can see a little surface rust and different things, but I mean, this car is really nice underneath. We'll look here at the jack mount. Very good condition. No rust around this. You look here at the frame rails. Again, very clean inside and out. Making myself dizzy walking around here, but I'm just trying to show you everything. You can see here the floor is excellent shape. A little bit of undercoating coming off. You can see these 3 little holes. I think those are factory because you can see them on this side too. I don't know what they're exactly for. You can see here on the outside of the rocker here. Just wanted to show you. You can see a little damage here. There's some little filler here at the bottom. Must have rubbed up against something on a curb. You can see on the inside, you know, it's pretty minimal. You can see actually a little scrape right there in the inside. But again, it's very nice. Go around here to the front, inside the wheel wells. You know, just like the back, no signs of any accidents. Very, very clean. You know, the inner tubs are excellent on this car. You know, you got to remember this car is 1958. I mean, it's old. I don't even know how many years that is. 60-something years old. You know, we'll take one last look here. Get up in here. You can see no accidents. Actually, this is kind of neat. Original chalk marks from the factory. So I hope that gives you a little bit of a view of what it looks like underneath, and you can look at the photos of it too. Ask me any questions that you want, and we'll go back to the outside and show you some other stuff. Thanks.